So here it is, the M-Play. Today we're going to do a review video. About a year ago I did a review video for the Martin M Touch, and today we're going to do one for the Martin M-Play. As soon as I got the M-Play in, that night I had a club gig, so I took it with me there. And within the first, I don't know, 5 minutes of, playing around with it, figuring it out, and really that's all it takes to learn how to use this is 5 minutes. 5 minutes will kind of get you, even without this video, within 5 minutes you would know what's going on here. It's that simple. So I liked it so much, I couldn't find a whole lot negative to say about it. So I reached out to the Facebook group and said, hey, what do you guys want to know about this thing? Because I got one. Let me beat it up for you. What do you want to know to help your purchasing decision? The first question I got was actually one of the best. This is from Scott Stanley. He asked, pros and cons, compared to other hardware, what does it do better? What does it do worse? Recommendations for target audience, i.e. who stands to benefit the most from this device? Is it best as an add-on, standalone, etc.? First pro I can think of right off the bat is just like the M-Touch. It's small, it's bus powered, so it does not require an extra power adapter. It has DMX out, and it expands your MPC setup to one extra universe. I have a little layout of the universes here, and this is probably a question that people are going to be asking in the forums. Number of DMX universes, the M-Play alone, 1. Combination of M-Plays plus M-Touches plus MDMX units, up to 4. M-Play plus MPC dongle, 4 to 128. Another pro is definitely going to be the amount of playback buttons and playback faders you get with the M-Play. You have 24 programmable buttons on this side, and then you have 12 faders, and then another 24 buttons over here. So yeah, there you go. A lot of playbacks. And you're not using your space, like for example on the, on the M2, on the the M2PC and also the M-Touch, I rarely use go, pause, back, or assign these buttons. Most times it's just fader and bumps and nothing else. Which, by the way, these playbacks can be assigned to be whatever you want them to be. For example, right here I have a cue list, and I could set this to release, to go, whatever for this playback. So I said that you have your 24 assignable buttons here on the side. If you hold select and plus, it displays in U. Now you're in number mode. So if I go over here to MPC, this is 1, by the way. It just said select fixture 1. So now I have buttons for my command line. This is where I would take it and take a little label maker and either above or below the button put 1, 0, period, enter, at, etc. Just so when I go into that mode, I have that to reference. There is one negative or a couple small things that I would change, and that's definitely one of them. I really wish that they would have screen printed the numbers next to the buttons. Even if it's just like a light gray or something that's not taking away from the design, I think that would be nice. Is this a standalone device? Yeah, it could be. I know I'm going to buy a few of them just for some of my club installs because I haven't put the M-Touch in these installs. I've basically just given them a touch screen and saying, press this button, your show goes, this is your opener look, etc. I don't need them to ever have that record button. Yes, I know they can record it from the screen over here, but they don't know that. So I don't need the programmer side of things for an install for people that aren't familiar with the software. And also another problem I've had before when I've left my M-Touch in an install is they've changed the live time and the fade times by accident, just by pushing buttons, playing around. Easy enough to fix, but that's frustrating for them. With the M-Play, I can do nothing but assign things that they will need, and really not have to worry about it. Unless they figure out how to hold down select and plus, and they can find the record button and accidentally record something, or, you know, leave highlight on or something, there's not much that they can really screw up there. It's just a standalone playback unit. Yeah, you know, it could be standalone, depending on your application. Let's say you're somebody that has went in and programmed overrides for pretty much everything that you want. An override for your pan, you know, swing, override for your tilt swing, your timing, etc. And you already have that laid out, then yeah, the M-Play. If you can only buy one of them, get the M-Play. But if you're somebody that the entire time you're playing live, you're selecting fixtures, you're changing the values in the programmer, and you know, you're just clearing everything out for the next scene, and you're just constantly building looks like that, then the M-Touch is better for you. If you are somebody that does that, I would really suggest learning how to use overrides and inhibitives, submasters, etc., and working your way up to an M-Play to work with your M-Touch. They complement each other really well. Let's say you have an M6. You know, you may look at the M-Play and just be like, you know, I already have the M6. I have everything I need. Well, yes, no, kinda. You can now add the M-Play and have velocity sensitive playbacks. Sorry, changed my bank here. So these are velocity sensitive. Obviously, you're getting more buttons, more positions for your submasters, etc. And on the M6, you can get the VESA mounts that go on the side. If I had an M6, I would have one of these on each side. I use my M-Touch a lot when I'm playing live, basically just for my inhibitives or maybe submaster, something I'm not going to touch a whole lot. And it just kind of sits off to the side, and I run everything else from, you know, the playback module or the M2 PC. I would say if you have an M6, the M-Play would make a very nice addition to that with the VESA mounts. Okay, cool. All right, so now let's look at some of the functions of the M-Play. With all these buttons, what do they do and how do they operate? First thing you'll notice when you start playing with it is you have two separate banks. So on the M-Touch, you have one bank because you only had 10 faders, and then this was your bank select. Well, they did something really, really smart on the M-Play, which I love, is you can have a bank for your faders, and then all these buttons right here, and then you have a bank here on the right-hand side. So, for example, I don't have to change the entire layout of the board to get to more faders, or if I want to go to a different set of playback buttons. So those are completely separate banks. Now, right now, I have them both set on bank number 1, so this side of the board is bank number 1, and this side is bank 1 as well. Now, if I hit the flash button on playback number 1 on the left-hand side, you'll also see playback 1 on the right lights up because they're the same button. Same with this, whatever's over here. Yeah, this little cue list. And you'll see that it's also lighting this up and this. That's just because I've copied it over to the other locations as well. Now I can have this side on too, and now if I bring all these down, you'll see I have 1 because I've copied and moved that over there. I put 2 over here, and then nothing on 3. I believe all the rest of them are out, yeah. Now in the latest version of MPC, if you go to Menu, Unlock Screens, Add Window, and then it is under Playback, you'll see a new window that you can put up, and that's called the M-Play status. So the M-Play status is basically just designed to be a layout of your M-Play, but a visual representation. From there, you can move move playbacks around, delete, copy, etc. Or you can also do it from the board. So for this example, we'll take number 1 and let's just move it over to number 4. So I'll hit move, hold select tap the button under the fader that I want to move, go over to 4, tap that. There we are. We moved it. So now there's nothing on 1. Again, move, hold select, tap what I want to move, tap where I want it to move. That easy. The question I've gotten a lot about the M-Touch, and the same is true for the M-Play, is how did the Force Touch faders feel? I know in my M-Touch review, I was kind of critical of them, talking about, you know, just the friction between your finger and the fader itself didn't allow for quite a smooth fade. That's still kind of the case, not so much. I've just kind of gotten used to it. But I still, you know, don't push hard when you do this, but I still recommend just using, you know, a Sharpie or something to do your fades. When I run lights and I'm using like my Surface, I just have my stylus in my hand pretty much constantly because I'm, you know, tapping at the screen, whatever, and then I'll just reach down and always make sure I go to the right-hand side of the fader and, you know, just move it that way. So I've kind of gotten the habit of doing that. Another thing is here recently they updated the firmware on the M-Touch for all the touch faders, and they respond a lot better in my opinion now. So there's that. One hardware change that they did make between the M-Touch to the M-Play is the Force Touch buttons are softer on the M-Play than they are on the M-Touch. So that has been changed. I don't know if they went with a different manufacturer, whatever. So they're softer. They feel better on the M-Play. I like them a lot better. As we wrap this up, let's talk about price. I don't have the exact pricing in front of me right now, so I just did a quick Google shopping search. I see the M-Play on Google Shopping, $527. The M-Touch, $430. So for $957, you are getting 2 DMX universes, tons of playback control with the M-Play, programmer, and more playbacks on the M-Touch. $957. That's crazy. It's, again, going back to what I said in my M-Touch review, I paid $1,200 back in the day for a light jockey box, and that was no control. I dreamed of having a fingers unit. Don't know what the hell happened to that thing. When I'm reviewing the M-Play, and then, you know, also when I review the M-Touch, try to stay as objective as I can, but really there's nothing else on the market that comes close to touching that price and the value that you get. It's an incredible deal. If you're getting into lighting, this is the way to go, and I'm really glad that Martin is putting these options out here. This is the perfect entry-level system. You know, I think if you're just getting into it, the M-Touch, you might want to start there and then go M-Play, or really just, you know, $957, you get both of those. Simple enough. Well, time to send it back to Martin. So here it is, your reboxing video. Somebody will want to see this. Please be sure to check out David Henry's video. I know he's also doing a review, so check him out, learnstagelighting.com. Thank you very much.